everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Amy, and this week we're making a sweet treat for our weekend comfort craving. It's apple season, so you know we're gonna have to take advantage of that. It's also getting colder in many places, so a hot baked treat is just the thing. Today we're making applecrisp, which is similar to a British apple crumble, but with a twist. It's really easy to make, so let's get cooking. First things first, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, grab a 9x13 baking dish and grease it really well with butter or oil. I'm using butter because I love the added flavor when I use butter to grease the pan. You can spread it around with clean hands or grab a paper towel or scrap of parchment paper, whatever. Just make sure to get the sides of the pan as well as the bottom. This dish definitely has sugar in it, so if the pan isn't well oiled, it really will stick. Then just set this to the side and let's get working on our apples. We need about 5 cups of sliced apple for this. If you have really big apples, you may not need 5, but medium to smaller apples like these will give you about a cup of slices per fruit. I have 3 Granny Smiths and 2 Cosmic Crisp apples. Cosmic Crisps are sweeter than the Granny Smiths, and having both will give this a really nice depth of flavor in our apple crisp. But the question we now face is to peel or not to peel. And the answer is that you can if you want, but you don't have to. I like to peel my apples because the skin will have a different texture than the flesh of the apple when it's finished baking, which changes the texture of the dish. But if you like the texture of the apple skin in there, then definitely leave the skins on and just move to the next step. You can peel them with a knife if you're braver than I am and do that really cool spiral thing where you take off the whole skin in one piece. Seriously, how cool is that anyway? Or you can just use a potato peeler like I'm doing here. When they're all peeled, we need to core and slice them. I'm using this little apple cutting gadget to start, and then I cut each slice in half so they were a little thinner. This little thing cuts them into the thicker wedge type shapes for fresh eating, but since we're not doing that, I want them a little thinner. As you're slicing them up, toss them in a large bowl, one big enough to have plenty of room to toss them around a little bit. To our big apple bowl, add a half cup of white sugar if you're following the inspiration recipe I linked in the description. I read a handful of comments though that said it was really sweet, so I went a little light and put a smidgen less than a third cup of sugar instead. Next, add a half teaspoon of cinnamon and a full teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm using some homemade vanilla extract here. This is also really easy to make. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a video all about making homemade extracts. Now just grab a spatula or a spoon or whatever and stir this up until the apples are all nicely coated in the sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla mixture. You want your apples to look like this. Oh, that is gonna be so good! Now let's make our crispy topping, and here is where the twist comes in. To a smaller bowl, add a half cup of all-purpose flour and our little twist ingredient, which is a third cup of rolled oats. British apple crumble does have a yummy streusel topping, but it doesn't have the oats in it. Next is 2/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar, and again I went a little light. This is a 2/3 measuring cup, but you can see it wasn't completely full. Add a half teaspoon of cinnamon to this as well, and last is a 1/4 cup or half a stick of melted butter. Oh, and a pinch of salt. Don't forget the pinch of salt. Grab a spatula or a spoon or whatever again and mix this up until it's nice and crumbly. Don't press it too much though, because we don't want the sugar to melt and turn into a weird sort of a paste. We just want everything to be in nice little crumble clumps. Grab the big baking dish we prepared earlier, and now it's time to assemble. Pour the apples into the pan and smooth them out so they're all in a pretty even layer. It doesn't have to be perfect, just not like a big apple pile in the middle. We want this to bake evenly, so we don't want to have some fully cooked apples and some that are not quite done. Next, sprinkle on that fabulous topping. The important part here is to try and get full coverage so we don't have bare apple slices sticking up anywhere. Uncovered apples could dry out in the oven, so we want to keep a nice even coating over everything so those apples stay nice and juicy. Then just pop everything in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. I started at 45 and then added another 10, so it could take really close to that hour mark. If the topping does start to get a little too brown though, you can cover this with foil for the last like 15-20ish minutes. When the apples are nice and soft and the topping is golden brown, pull this out of the oven, and after 55 minutes of baking, look at that apple crisp. This smells so good, it's just ridiculous. I mean, It's apples and cinnamon, so what's not to like? But this may as well be autumn in a bowl right here. And since this is meant to be eaten hot, let's dig in. Look at those beautiful baked apples. And that topping is beautifully crispy and sweet, but it's not too sweet. I have to say, I think it was the right call to go a little light on the sugar, because this turned out just right. Yeah, it's sweet, but not tooth-achingly sweet, and those Granny Smith apples gave this a little tartness to balance out that sweet, almost like a little zing of citrus. So I would definitely recommend using at least a couple of Granny Smith apples if you make this. Okay, last but not least, the proper way to serve an apple crisp is with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and we're of course going to do that, and that is just perfect. Baked apples and cinnamon, brown sugar, cold ice cream on top. This is just decadent. And you all know I ate way too much of it because it's just amazing. And now I'm too full and I need to go take a nap, so I'm gonna go do that. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And leave a comment if you enjoyed this video, or if you have a favorite comforting food you would like me to make. Make sure to come out and hang out with me on Wednesdays because we are starting something entirely new. With all the holidays and special occasions coming up, we've got so much to choose from, it's almost overwhelming, and I've got some excellent recipes coming up. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I'll see you here next Sunday for some more cozy home-cooked comfort food. Bye!